name's Luke. I'm with Hamilton RV. I'll be doing a demo of the 265 RLS J Flight. Starting right here in the back corner, you got stabilizing jacks. Them are on all four corners. Them are only meant for stability. They're not meant to level with. So when you back into your campsite, you're going to use your wheels for your side-to-side leveling by laying blocking down on whatever side is low, backing onto that blocking with the tow vehicle still attached. Once you're level side to side, disconnect the tongue or the tow vehicle. Use your tongue jack to get your front to back level. Once you're done with that, then these stabilizing jacks go down just to stabilize your camper from rocking and shaking. So we work our way around. You got a 30 amp power supply on this unit. I always recommend an extra 25-foot extension cord, and I would recommend an RV surge protector. You got a lot more things in here. Little computer chips and stuff that run things that, one little power surge can cause havoc. So it's just something I like to recommend. There's all different kinds, there's all different models as well. There's lower end to the top end stuff. So, I mean, there's a range of options. This is pre-wired for a backup camera. That's what that black housing's for right there. Basically, it's a Furion backup camera. It's pre-wired for that. It'll go on there. It's an observation camera, so as you travel down the road, that camera can be on. You can see what's going on behind you. Also has audio on it, so you can, whoever's guiding you into your campsite can talk to you through that camera as well. You should also get on your roof 3 times a season to inspect anything that comes through that roof. You got what's called dicor around all the plumbing, vents, anything that comes through that roof. Over time, that sealant gets hard from the sun baking it, and eventually, you gotta remember, it's just a traveling, it's moving, rocking, flexing, moving. That's normal. Eventually that stuff's going to crack, and when it does, you got to clean it with an all-purpose cleaner, let it dry good, and then reapply that dicor product back over top of the old stuff. It'll self-level and fill them holes and voids in. Cable satellite inputs are there. If they offer cable or satellite on at the park, that's where you'll tie in. You got a bulb seal here and a sweep seal. I do recommend a spray and conditioner. It's going to clean, condition, and put a UV protection on them seals. Stops them from drying out and cracking, basically. I would also recommend on this a slide topper. So basically it's an awning that goes over top of that slide room. Once they're installed, they're permanently installed. They go in and out with the slide room, so there's no maintenance or nothing you need to do with them. But it keeps all the sticks, leaves, nuts, any of that stuff that falls from the sky. It stops it from collecting up there, because if you start dragging sticks and that through here, you're going to tear these seals. And once that tears, then you're no longer sealed when it's all the way closed. So I would highly recommend a slide cover. Again, they're not, I mean, they also help keep, you remember, if it's raining out and you go to close this room up, whatever water's on that roof you take inside. So that's where another reason slide covers are nice. So when them go in, it rolls all that stuff off. So it's just something I like to recommend anyhow. You got rails on the slide outs here that need lubrication 3 times a season as well. It's a dry lube that goes on them. Just keeps them from squeaking and binding. Around here, got the water heater here. This here is a pressure relief valve. This will relieve the pressure from the system. When there's nothing coming out of there, then it's safe to pull your drain cap off. This will get screwed on here, and then just snug it up. You don't want to over tighten it, just snug it. And they actually, a lot of times in the manufacturer, they'll put a little bit of pipe dope in there and then tighten it up so it seals up. It's a 6-gallon water heater. Over time, if you leave that cap on there, that water, if you're not cycling it, after about a week it gets stagnant or stale in there. It'll start smelling. You'll get stinky water. So I always recommend just relieve the pressure, make sure there's nothing coming out of there. Then it's safe to pull that out. 1 1/16 socket fits this, so that this will come off easy. And remember, it's just plastic, so you can't over tighten it. You don't want to reef it down too tight. That's turned on and off on the inside. There's switches. I'll show you that when we get inside. Basically, don't turn it on with nothing in it. The water heater otherwise. City water connection. This is if they offer water on the campsite. Water pressure regulator is something I recommend on there. It regulates the water pressure coming into camper, so you don't exceed 50 pounds of water pressure. But you'll run this if they have the spigot on the site. You'll run off their water pressure that they provide. This here is a tank flush valve. So that's used on your black tank, which is this to the right. That handle on the right is your black. The one on the left here, the gray handle, is your gray tank. So I recommend putting a sewer hose on the tube there at the dump station. Get yourself a clear adapter to go with the sewer hose. pull the black tank and let it empty. Once it's completely empty, you're going to take the hose at the dump station you would normally use to rinse your sewer hose and stuff out. You're going to hook it to this, turn it on, and let that run until you got clean water coming through. That clear adapter down there, that's why you want the clear. And when that's done, then you'll shut the water off, obviously take the hose off, close the black tank, and then you'll pull the gray valve at the end to kind of help rinse everything out. Outside shower, there's about 4 feet of shower hose there. Hot and cold line, not really a whole lot more to tell you there. Compartment, just that, outside compartment. Storage. You got a new interstate battery in the box out here. I always recommend a battery disconnect switch. That would be done on the positive side of the battery. And basically that just cuts the power so that it can't feed your camper, even when you're not in it. You get about 4 days that battery dies all by itself. You get stuff that's hardwired to the 12-volt side, just has a draw on the battery, and it'll just drain your battery dead. That's why I recommend a disconnect, because if it's going to sit for any length of time for storage or in your driveway maybe and you're not plugged in, again, 4 days your battery will be dead, probably less than that. And that's where that disconnect is nice, because it kills that power going to the camper, so it can't drain it dead. And then you got, a good battery. When you guys start up, just turn a key on, you're good to go. Propane regulator. This here is the valve to switch from tank to tank. This regulator will also auto switch, and all that means is that both tanks are open. Both valves are open on the tanks. It's going to draw from whatever side it's pointing at first. Once that side empties, it'll automatically start pulling from the other tank. You don't know when you're running out of propane though, so keep that in mind. So I always recommend run one tank at a time. This cap will come off the power tongue jack. You can manually crank this jack in and out if you need to. Down switch. You get docking lights here. Watch it for that. In here you got your 30 amp to 110 adapter here. You get a 10-foot sewer hose, comes in a convenience kit. Your crank handle for your stabilizing jacks, and then this one here for that power tongue jack. And the rest of that stuff's hitch parts. Top right hand corner of the awning, there's a rubber cap that can come out. I believe it's a 7/16 socket fits that. You can manually run your awning in and out if need be. Low point drains here. There's two. You see, just barely see them right there. That's your low point and your water line. So if you open them up and open the faucets, it'll gravity drain most of the system. It's by far no way to winterize, but it'll get rid of a lot of the water out of the system. This here's your furnace vent. Remember, it's under the awning. I just like to remind people, tables, chairs, that kind of thing, be careful, because if that does kick on, it does get hot. Wheel bearings should be repacked every 2 years or 10,000 miles, whatever comes first. This here's your fresh water tank, so if you're going to rustic camp, you'll fill that tank, run off your on-demand pump. The drain for this tank is actually this white petcock right there. Right behind the tires, between the step and the back step and the tires. Cable hookup or antenna, power, TV block. Coming inside. Fire extinguishers right here next to the door. Do a quick scan of everything here so you guys can see it. Light switches. Awning in and out. Main switch. Awning lights. Monitor panel. So you got the battery button. If we push that, that's on the bottom here. That shows low, fair, good, and charging on the battery side. Anytime you plug in, you've got a power converter on board that trickle charges your battery for you. So anytime you plug in, you're putting a charge to that battery. When you're not plugged in, this should be 3 lights as a good charged battery, and then the LP side to your water heater, and the electric side to your water heater, and your water pump switch are there. Slide switch, awning switch. carbon monoxide LP detector down there. Underneath your sink, that's actually the panel straight back right there. That'll come off, that bottom panel there, and that's where you're going to access your winterizing hose. That's your fuse box or breaker box converter. It's got breaker fuses in there. Push the center of it, it opens up. Sparker for the stove here. That's going to work the oven and the oven and the burners are in the center. Put it on the flame here for the oven. Push the knob in, hold it. You're going to spark it with the sparker on the left. Once it's lit, you're gonna continue. You got to hold that for about 10 seconds. Once you get it hot, you can let off. It should stay lit. Then you can adjust to whatever temp you need. Knob lights, knob and oven lights. Fridge. This is a 12-volt refrigerator. Power button. To shut this off, you're going to push and hold for about 5 seconds, and then it goes out. To turn it on, we're going to push it again and hold it. And now it's on. This is showing you your freezer and your refrigerator temp, and then this is your night mode. If you put the night mode on, basically what it does is just cut the compressor so it can't run as often. Otherwise, there's not a lot to tell you. It's a fridge. It's 12 volt though, so it does drain the battery. If you decide you're going to do a lot of rustic camping, I would recommend getting yourself a couple 6-volt batteries because they're going to last a lot longer than a 112 volt. 112 volt, I'm told by people running these refrigerators, you get about a day and your battery dies. So just so you guys know. Shut that off. So thermostat's here. To run it, you're going to hit the mode button. It shows it's off. Hit it again. That's your fan. You got auto, high, or low. We'll leave it on auto. Go to this as your temperature up and down up top for the air conditioner, furnace, and then back off. Come in the bathroom sink, shower, and I left this panel off so I could show you. Back side of your water heater. These valves are pointing right now. Cold water goes in, hot water comes out. The way this handle's setting right now is how this should look for winterization, or for using it, I'm sorry. To winterize, you're going to go just the opposite. Now, the water comes in this cold line, comes up, and goes through this loop, and comes back down through the hot line. So it's bypassed. For winterization, again, we're going to be towards that water heater. So the way the valve is pointing is the way it's open. That's your bypasses for winterization. So you got 3 valves in total you got to turn. Up here in the ceiling, you got a roof vent with a fan. Flip the switch here, it turns that fan on. Them vents, I always recommend the Max Air Cover. Max Air Covers allow airflow in your camper even when you're not in it. That's definitely a good idea to have. I would recommend a Max Air 2 on this vent because it's only got the only vent in your camper. They allow twice the airflow through them, so you get better airflow into this camper only having one vent. You're looking, I think they're like $108 installed for a Max Air 2. So if that's something you guys are interested in, parts, labor, everything, $108, you're good. This is wired for solar. That's what that thing there is. If you go to the website on there, wiredforsolar.com, that'll actually allow you to order the solar kit for this camper. The 30 amp solar kit for this, it's all pre-wired on the roof, on the wall, so that little dotted line that you see on that tag, when you get your controller, you'll cut that out, and all your wiring is right there in the wall. You just plug in your controller, go on the roof, hook your solar panel up, plug it in, screw the anchor it down, and seal it up, and you're good to go. Bed lifts up, you got storage in that. I'm just going to shut some of these off as I go. And I got to come back to this room. So, back here, antenna booster. If this button's off like that, you got no antenna booster. You're not going to get no over-the-air television. You turn it on to turn the booster on to power that antenna to get better reception. This is an HDMI cord that goes to the radio, because when you hook a TV up, this is a DVD player, everything through the TV. Power button here. You got zone 1 and 2 speakers inside and outside, DVD player, Bluetooth player, means all that. So, then I give everybody a 10% off parts card. So just present this to them parts. I'll give you 10% off whatever you purchase. This here has Hamilton's phone number on it. You can call and ask for Luke if you want, or anybody in the service department will gladly answer you. 989-752-6262. Again, any questions, or even if you're interested in any of the stuff that I talked about as far as installs, give me a call back at that number, and I'll gladly make sure that happens before you guys pick up. Tire torque, tire pressure. This is more or less just for you guys, so you guys know. And on the back, I already explained it in there, but this is just a diagram. This is my version of that same setup on the back of the water heater. 2 gallons RV antifreeze for winterization. So this here is just our virtual demo page. Again, my name's Luke. The date I did your demo. Our phone number is up top. Prices, I'm going to tell you right now, are fluctuating a lot due to COVID. They're up and down. So everything changes. So if you're interested in something, just give me a call and I'll get you an accurate quote on what everything's running at the moment. The Furrion backup camera, that's a camera that you can put on the back. For that, for instance, I think is like $100 less for the 5-inch camera. So, I mean, that's installed, mind you. Parts, labor, everything. Plus tax on that number there, I think. Slide toppers. I had already went and measured your slide out here. If you guys are interested in a slide cover, you're looking at just over $700, I think, for a slide topper installed. So, I mean, just let me know if you guys are interested. Again, Max Air covers, I would recommend the Max Air 2 white. This says 115, but I think right now them are 108 plus tax. Surge protection. This is a hardwire setup that this is showing you. There's plug and play stuff. If you did go with the surge hardwire setup, I would definitely recommend it with the monitor, because the monitor is what tells you what's going on. That's like the brains of the operation. So without that monitor, you really don't have much, you know. I don't know. Tongue jack, bike rack. I mean, last couple things to talk about: paint and fabric protection. Anything inside that's vinyl, leather, fabric, or carpet, you can get the paint and the fabric protection on. It gives you a 5-year warranty from any kind of rips, tears, stains, or burns. And on the outside, anything on the sidewalls of the camper, the awning, is all sprayed with a ceramic coating, which gives you a 5-year warranty from any kind of sun damage. So if it paint fades or any of that, you know, or the awning, you know, starts to dry out and cracks or whatever, that's covered under that warranty. So you get 5 years for that. It does make washing the camper easier because it doesn't allow the bird waste and the bugs to stick. So it's definitely something I'd recommend. Last thing we're going to talk, and that, if you tried rolling that into your finance, you're talking anywhere from $15 to $20 a month more in your payment. Lastly, the extended service contract, something I would highly recommend. Jaycos do come with a 2-year manufacturer warranty, so I mean, you get 2 years under that. They call our extended service a 7-year warranty, but technically it's 7 years in total length, but you have 2 years. The first 2 years on this is used under your Jayco warranty. After that, then your extended kicks in. So technically, you're buying 5 additional years of warranty coverage, and it's definitely something I would highly recommend. You know, I mean, it covers all the major mechanical parts of your camper, from the furnace, the fridge, air conditioning, water heater, water pump, all the LP system, water lines, fittings, tanks, slide motors, mechanisms. There's parts in the suspension, parts in the hubs. I mean, it covers a lot of stuff. So there's 2 things I like about it. One, it's prorated. So 3 years from now, you don't want it, you can cash it out, get the difference back you had remaining in your warranty. So the other 4 years of warranty coverage you get back. The other cool thing I like about it is it covers a mobile service. So as long as you're more than 50 miles from Hamilton RV, if something breaks or slide room won't come in, whatever, anywhere in the nation, anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, you're covered under that. So you'll be able to call a mobile guy out to come out and service your camper. Right? You pay your $200 deductible, and it's, you know, so it's really not all that bad. $200, get your slide room fixed, and you're good to go. It's definitely something I'd recommend. And again, 7 years, you gotta remember, this is a house. Imagine your house traveling down the road, how many things will shake, wiggle, rattle. I mean, it's very hard on a camper to travel down the road and not have something fail. So, I mean, It's definitely something I'd highly recommend to anybody buying a camper. New, used, it doesn't matter. It's something I would recommend purchasing. Again, my name's Luke here at Hamilton RV. If you guys have any questions or interested in any of the stuff that I explained throughout this demo, please give me a call back at 989-752-6262. Congratulations on your purchase, guys, and have a wonderful day.